Jim, just give us your assessment of that game today.
Disappointed, Greg, to lose the game. Of course, we always are, and I've become greedy. You know, my expectation at home has been in line with what performance has been. Performance has been good, and results have followed. We haven't lost a match at home for such a long time. I think Solihull were the last people to beat us at home last year. This game was very different to that one. I thought we controlled so much of the game. They were so deep and compact the whole game, like loads of teams have been against us recently. And although the results, a loss, draw, whatever, they're always disappointing. I mean, you want to win every single game. We want to win every single game. So the loss itself, the outcome, is disappointing today. But if I assess our performance individually, and this is what I just said to the team, collectively within units, individually, as I mentioned, I don't necessarily think we deserve to win the game today. I think our individual skills and techniques and whatnot with the ball, and our thinking when we got a little bit stressed, wasn't as clear as it's been. And based on that, and that's what I always judge performance and potential outcomes on, based on that, I can't feel wronged that we lost today. I can't feel wrong that we lost. What I do feel is growth for us is that last season, if we went at our best, we were nowhere near a game. What I felt today was we went at our best, and I think although I can accept that we lost today based on our performance, I think if we look at the game back on the balance of chances and whatnot, while Solihull had clear opportunities to score, which they did, other than that they had so few chances in the game. We had some chances in the game. We built a lot of pressure. We had a lot of late pressure, and I think even though we were not at our best today, we could have drew or won on the balance of chances and how we built pressure, as I said. So I am pleased that on a day when I noticed so much individually wasn't good about us personally, we still could have won, or we still could have drew. We still were good for goals, and we got a goal in the end. But yeah, on fair reflection, if I just reflect on my team, my players, and what I know they can do, we wasn't as good as I know we can be today. So I can't feel wrong that we lost.
And like you say, there'll be games like this throughout the season, won't there? And I guess there's obviously an acceptance from you and the players that will happen on occasion throughout a 46-game season.
There's definitely an acceptance from me. I forgive them totally. The humans, we made human errors today. A couple of them were process-based, and we can look at them on a training ground. A couple of them are just skills, individual skills on the day, which we've got good players, so they'll be better on other days. Too many of our players, unfortunately, didn't have their best day. But I'll support them to try and have the best day next time, and the best training session they can in the next training session. I think that's ultimately what I'm here for, to help everyone as much as I can possibly, if I can even help them. But we're clear on what we're trying to do. We're clear on what we're trying to be. I'm very grounded, and that despite whatever people keep telling me about the league table thus far, this is year one for me. I've never lost sight of that, and I've only ever focused on the next moment, the next session, the next performance, and I won't change that now. If we'd have won the game today 4-0, I wouldn't be changing that either, to be honest. I still know where we are. It's still very early for us. I think we've got a brilliant team that I love and appreciate, and yeah, we'll keep working like we always have.
And 9 games in, if you looked at that at the start of the season, you'd be very, very pleased with the start that we made, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't look at the league table, Greg. I never really do until 10 games in. I think it's a fair point to look at where we are, look at what we've done. It's a good body of evidence to start to assess different components of a game. So I will do after 10 games. I won't be doing that before then. I'll just be focusing on breaking down this game that we just played, and then focusing on our next game against our next opponent, which is Eastleigh. But from that point on, we'll have a breakdown of the season thus far. I think it's a good time to do so, because if you're too game to game in this sport, then I think you're too zoomed in. I think you need to zoom out at times and make sure you're quantifying everything properly. And I want to do that to be as fair as possible to our team and our players and our fans. So yeah, we lost the game today. We hoped for a better result. We didn't get it, but we move on to the next one, Greg.
You managed to get Joe Wesley off the bench today for just like a matter of 10 minutes. How is he after that nasty collision?
I think he was just disappointed at his luck, to be honest. I know medically he's probably not in a great place. It was a bad head knock, and on that note, I think that's in the Premier League. VAR looks at that back and says, "Oh, it's a penalty because it's a foul in the box." Doesn't matter that it was accidental or clumsy or late. It is what it is. Like, Joe heads the ball past the player, and ultimately Joe should, in my opinion, have won as a penalty for that action. But those things don't happen at our level, really. I don't know why, but they don't. But most importantly, we'll do the best we can, of course, to take stock of what Joe's actual situation is in the next day or so. It looked a nasty head knock. It looked there was some blood involved, and I'm not sure actually at this point whether he was unconscious or not straight after the incident. But our medical team are concerned, and it's his head, so that his health is the most important thing, and we had to bring him off. But that's unfortunate for Joe, because he's been desperate to get on, and he's been good in training, and despite the fact we've not seen much of him thus far, I'm not convinced any less that he's a brilliant addition for us, and I want to have him with us. I want to keep him with us. Hopefully this medical situation doesn't affect too much about that now. But yeah, he had all his senses fine when he came off. He was just devastated that he had to come off. He couldn't believe that he'd finally got onto the pitch, and then that happened. But football challenges you, Greg, doesn't it?